Before I start this video, let me take 30 seconds to tell you something about Exergic. Exergic is India's most trusted and most experienced institute for online GATE preparation. I am Chandresh Mahajan, founder and chief educator at Exergic. I am an All India rank 37 in GATE Mechanical Engineering, an ex-Indian Oil officer having 7+ years of teaching experience as of now. These are the GATE 2021 Mechanical Engineering toppers from Exergic. You can find their preparation strategy on Exergic's website. To know more about our GATE courses, you can visit our website or contact us on these details. Also, you can download Exergic GATE preparation app from Google Play Store. The link is available in the description of video. Now in this lecture, we will be discussing a very small but such a concept that many aspirants are confused in this. They don't know this concept correctly. Suppose there is the flow of, there is an ideal fluid flow. Means there is no any viscous effect in the flow. There are no viscous effects, no energy losses are occurring. So along the flow, the energy of the fluid does not change. Total energy of the fluid remains same, right or not? And if I give the same condition to you for an inclined pipe, that there is an inclined pipe and there is a ideal fluid flow occurring. This is an inclined pipe, this is point 1, this is point 2, and this is the ideal flow. Means there are no viscous effects, no energy losses, no head losses. Then net head at 1 will be equal to net head at 2, right or not? We can write it down in the form of Bernoulli's equation like this. Plus Z1 is equal to. Now for the sake of simplicity, let us do one thing. For the sake of simplicity, assume the diameter of the pipe is same. The diameter of the pipe is not changing. So this velocity term automatically goes away. Alright. This I have done for simplicity for the concept that I want to tell you. So this is the condition right now. The flow is ideal flow. Tell me, how can I find out the direction of flow? It's a question for you. For this case, suppose I know all the values, I know all the pressure, the datum, everything is known to me. Tell me, what should I do to find out the direction of the flow? Suppose this is a question in which everything, pressure and area and the datum, everything is known, and it asks you that determine the direction of flow, whether it is from 1 to 2 or from 2 to 1. In any normal case with head loss, with the viscous effects, what would you do? You will calculate the net head, total head, pressure head, velocity head, datum and everything at point 1 as well as point 2. And flow will occur from higher value of total energy to lower value of total energy. Suppose here net head was 10 units, just a simple number I am giving, and here net head that you calculated was 8 units. What does it tell you? It tells you that when flow would have been occurring from 1 to 2, then 2 units of head were lost, right? Which logically means flow is happening from 1 to 2. That is why at 2, loss, the head is 8. If head here is 8 and head here is 10, can flow happen from 2 to 1? Can it happen that along the flow it started gaining energy? I don't know from where. Can it happen? It cannot happen. Along the flow, the energy will dissipate if viscous effects are present. So flow happens from higher energy to the lower energy. So if you get a question where direction of flow is to be determined and you have all the data available of all the heads, just add all the head values at both the points. Flow will happen from higher head to the lower head. Clear? No confusion in that. I am sure it was known to you already. But the same question now I am giving you without any losses. That is why I have written ideal flow. Now tell me, how would you do it? Because now net energy, net head at 1 and net head at 2 are same, they are not different. So if there are 2 points, same energy, how the flow is going to happen? What is the direction of flow? Many aspirants What they do, there are two types of aspirants. One type of aspirant will say that sir, the fluid will flow from higher pressure to lower pressure, even if the energy is same. Why? Why should it happen from higher pressure to lower pressure? Ultimately, whatever pressure is contributing, that is in the form of some head, right? That is has equal weightage as velocity head and datum head. You can see they are simply adding up here. Pressure head is not superior to velocity head or datum head in terms of total energy calculation. Just like other head, it is also a head. So pressure head will not decide the direction of the flow. Now type 2 students will say that sir, how can flow happen from point 1 to point 2 if we are not using anything extra, any pump we are not using? How can fluid rise on its own? This is such a flawed concept. It's a very wrong concept. Just listen to me carefully and these misconcepts will be busted. Flow is happening from 1 to 2. Total energy at 1 is pressure plus datum. Total energy at 2 is also pressure plus datum. When we move from 1 to 2, suppose this is the datum. So this part Z1 will be 0. So this is the equation for this case. Obviously P1 will be more than P2. So when the flow occurs from 1 to 2, the pressure head of 1 is converting to datum head. What is the problem in that? Pressure head can convert to datum head, and that is what it is happening. Why you think that fluid cannot move upwards if you are not using any pumping device between 1 and 2? It can do on its own. Pump may be installed before point 1. Before point 1 you have a pump installed. That pump pushed the fluid and it is flowing steadily. And I have taken any 2 points in that pipe flow, any 2 points, any section. In that flow, the pressure of 1 is converting to the head, to the datum head of 2. It can very much happen in the delivery pipe of the pump. That is what happens, right? If you have a pump which is pushing the fluid, the pressure head will convert to the datum head. That is what is happening between 1 and 2. Between 1 and 2 you don't need any pump, right? It may be possible that before 1 you were needing some pump, but between 1 and 2 there is no pumping requirement, there is no energy losses, so the pressure head can convert to datum head without any trouble. So some of the aspirants who think that fluid, how can it rise on its own, it has to move from higher datum to lower datum, they are also wrong. What is the correct answer for this question? For an ideal fluid flow like this, what should be the direction of flow if pressure head at 1 is equal to pressure plus datum head at 2? You cannot determine the direction. For an ideal flow, using Bernoulli's equation, you cannot determine the direction of the flow because net energy is not reducing, it's conserved. It can move from 1 to 2 also, and it can move from 2 to 1 also. Both the things are very much possible. Rather, the ideal fluid flow is reversible. Whatever effects you have from 1 to 2, same effects will be having from 2 to 1 in the opposite direction. So Bernoulli's equation, if you are using, then for ideal fluid flow, you cannot determine the direction of flow. For the fluid having head losses, you can determine the direction, but for ideal flow, both the directions are very much feasible. Flow can occur from 1 to 2 also, from 2 to 1 also. Now suppose in the same case, the question is asking you, determine the power of pump required to maintain the flow. Determine the power of pump required to maintain this flow. What should be the answer for this question? Answer will be 0 because there is no head getting lost. There is no head loss. Whatever is the energy at 1, that is carrying the fluid forward. The pressure head is converting to datum head to move it forward. Now some of the students will think that, sir, how is it possible that fluid is flowing without the need of pump? Again, it's a very wrong concept. Look, I am not saying, or the question is not saying that pump is not required. Question will mention that determine the pump requirement to maintain the flow. Question is not saying that pump will not be required, pump will not be used to move the fluid. Obviously, if there is a fluid at rest, you need some power to move it, right? That is not the case that we are discussing. That is the unsteady condition, unsteady flow condition. When the fluid is at rest and you starting the flow. We are discussing about steady condition, steady flow. Look at this Bernoulli's equation. Energy at 1 and energy at 2 we are saying equal. They can be equal only when the flow is steady. These heads we are adding and saying both the combined heads will remain same. We are saying this only because flow is steady. Suppose the flow is happening in such a manner that it has not even reached at point 2. Then how can you find out the pressure at point 2 and velocity at point 2? Suppose the flow is unsteady and fluid is moving from 1 to 2. It's unsteady flow. How can you decide the velocity and pressure at 2? You cannot. Suppose the fluid has reached here, but in the region from 1 to 2, in the region from 1 to 2, the fluid is accumulating. That is what happened in unsteady flow. 10 kg per second entered. Only 2 kg per second left. 8 kg per second got accumulated. Till when it will accumulate? Till steady condition is reached. After steady condition is reached, same amount will enter, same amount will leave. So in this case, in case of unsteady, you cannot say that energy at 1 and energy at 2 are same, because at this point, whatever is the energy, some part of the energy is accumulated between 1 and 2. 8 kg per second, every second 8 kg of mass, and the energy related to that mass is getting accumulated between 1 and 2. It is not reaching at 2. Only 2 kg are reaching at 2 per second. So you cannot say that energy at 1 and 2 are same. So this form of Bernoulli's equation can only be applied for a steady flow. So this case is not talking about the condition when you have to start the pump. Don't get confused in this. Question is asking you how to maintain the flow using the pump. Maintain the flow. How much pumping requirement will be there to maintain the flow? Maintaining means to do something which is going on already. Right? You will see this term. You will never see in a question it will ask you that how much power of pump will be required to start the flow. Starting the flow is an unsteady problem of Bernoulli's equation, which we have not discussed. Right? That is why only for maintaining the flow this question will be used, and if we are applying Bernoulli's equation between point 1 and between point 2, we are only talking about point 1, point 2 and the region between them. We are not talking about a pump which may be present before point 1. So if question is asking you, it has given you ideal fluid, it is asking you, it has given you all the details and asking you how much pumping power will be required to maintain the flow. Answer will be 0 for ideal flow. I am specifically telling this because students are not intuitively able to feel. If someone of you who will get the answer 0, he will think, how can answer be 0? Pump has to be there. How can fluid move without any pump? Answer 0 is not correct. There has to be some answer. He will do something, some manipulation, and he will spoil his correct answer of 0. So I have told you clearly. Question will say how much power requirement will be there to maintain the flow. Pump is already there. It is pumping the fluid. That pump may be present before the point 1. It is not present between point 1 and point 2, right? That is present before the pump. And that was actually used to start the flow. I am only talking about ideal flow right now. Okay, don't get confused. I am only talking about ideal flow. For an ideal flow, you just need a pump to start the flow. Then you can remove the pump. Because pump is needed only when you have to start it from 0 energy, you have to move it from 0 energy in that unsteady range, in that unsteady duration it is to be used. After that, remove the pump. It's ideal fluid, no energy losses. Whatever energy you have given, that much energy it will carry without any losses. Heads will keep converting between velocity, pressure, datum, but that energy will not be lost. You can even reverse the direction of that fluid, but energy will not be lost. That is why, again repeating, that for an ideal fluid flow in steady condition, you cannot decide the direction of fluid flow by Bernoulli's equation. Now this is not a discussion that generally is done in while teaching any concept, because this is one of those doubts which aspirants get while solving questions or while discussing some concept with the other aspirants. And it is very much important that you should be ready for such simple concepts also that can be asked to you in the exam. And forget about the exam for now. These are some of the basic things that you must know. Deciding the direction of flow, deciding the pumping requirement to maintain the flow. These are some of the very basic concepts that at least every mechanical engineer should know. And after this, you will not have any confusion in this. I can tell you that there will be some, aspirants who are very good in concepts, but in this concept, very simple concept, they will still stuck, they will still struggle. I am telling you, I have seen many such aspirants who have a very good command over the subjects, but they still get stuck into these small concepts. So I thought of telling you these so that you do not get confused in any of these small concepts.